All right, let's talk about one of the biggest and honestly one of the trickiest jumps you can make in your career. That leap from being a rock star specialist to suddenly being a manager. And look, this isn't just about getting a new title on your business card. We're talking about a fundamental shift in who you are at work. So you did it. You got the promotion. This is the moment you've been working for, right? But instead of feeling on top of the world, you feel completely buried. You're putting in more hours than ever, the stress is just piling up, and you're wondering what went wrong. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, don't worry, you are not alone. It's actually a classic sign that a much deeper change needs to happen. This right here, this quote, is pretty much the entire playbook. This is the whole journey in one sentence. Your success used to be all about your personal output, what you could get done. Now, it's all about creating an environment where your team can do their best work. It sounds so simple, but wow, it changes absolutely everything. And this is where the friction comes from. It's a tough paradox to wrap your head around. The very things that got you promoted, your deep expertise, how fast you were, your knack for solving any problem thrown at you, those are now the very things you have to learn to let go of. Your confidence came from being the expert, but your new job requires you to build that expertise in other people. And that internal tug of war, it's a real challenge. Okay, so to get through this, we've got to get crystal clear on the difference between these two worlds. It really all comes down to understanding how your value is measured now, because it has completely changed. So as a specialist, right, your value was so easy to see. It was what you personally delivered, your speed, your accuracy, your problem-solving genius. But as a manager, that whole scoreboard gets thrown out. Your value now comes from what your team delivers. You're measured by the clarity you bring, the consistency you create, the quality of the team's decisions, and maybe most importantly, the new skills and capacity you build in others for the long haul. You're shifting from being a doer to being a developer of people. So you might be asking, how do I actually do that? Well, it's all about rewiring the way you think. So let's walk through 5 really specific mindset shifts that are absolutely essential to making this leap without burning out. First up, and this is a big one, you have to give up your cape. You have to stop being the hero. The goal isn't for you to swoop in and save the day anymore. It's about increasing your entire team's ability to get great work done day in and day out. You know that voice in your head, the specialist voice that says, it's just faster and easier if I do it myself. And hey, in the moment, that's probably true. But a manager has to play the long game. They know that investing the time to teach someone else how to do it, well, that pays you back over and over again. You're not just solving one problem, you're building another problem solver. That's a huge win. Okay, shift number 2 is all about your relationship with quality. As a specialist, you knew something was high quality because your hands were on it. You controlled every detail. But as a manager, that approach it doesn't scale. You can't be everywhere at once. So as a manager, you create quality by building a system. You do it by creating clear processes, setting up predictable review points, and giving consistent, useful feedback. Your job is to design a machine where quality is the natural result of the process, not something that happens because you jumped in at the last minute to fix it. Now, this third shift, this one can feel really scary for new managers. It's about letting go of that need to control every little thing and moving to a model of empowerment that's built on trust. Look, it feels safe to control all the details, to micromanage. It gives you a sense of security. But a great manager knows that real, sustainable confidence comes from somewhere else. It's built by setting super clear expectations on the front end and then establishing a consistent rhythm of checking in, not to control, but to support, unblock, and verify things are on the right track. All right, shift number 4. You have got to fight that powerful urge to jump in and solve every problem for your team. Your new job isn't to be the chief problem solver, it's to be the chief problem solver creator. You are a multiplier of talent. So what does a multiplier actually do? Well, instead of just giving out answers, they ask really good questions. Instead of redoing the work, they coach people through it. Their main job is to clear roadblocks out of the way and, most importantly, build the team's muscle for making great decisions without them. Every single thing you do should be about making your team stronger and more independent. And this final shift, this is the most strategic one of all. You have to stop thinking about your personal to-do list and start thinking like a designer. You are designing the entire system for your team. As a specialist, you managed a list of tasks. As a manager, you're managing a complex system of people and work. You're the one who shapes the team's priorities, clarifies their roles, protects their bandwidth, and sets the boundaries that keep everyone, including yourself, sane and productive. It is a massive leap in perspective. Okay, so we've talked through the 5 big mindsets. Now let's get practical. How do you actually put this stuff into practice? Let's build a sustainable plan, a bridge to get you to that next level of leadership. But first, we need a moment of real talk, a little honest self-reflection. Let's figure out where you are on this journey right now. Are you truly operating as a manager, or are you still stuck in that specialist hero mode? So ask yourself, and be honest. Do you find yourself thinking, it's just easier if I do it? Are you the bottleneck where everything needs your approval? Do you end up rewriting or fixing your team's work a lot? Do you only delegate when you're totally slammed? Do you feel guilty when you're not producing real, visible work? If you nodded along to 2 or more of those, that's a huge sign you're probably still operating in specialist mode. Okay, so here's your roadmap, 5 steps to build that bridge. 1, redefine success. It's team outcomes, not your personal output. 2, delegate strategically. Don't just dump tasks. Define the outcome, the quality standards, and the checkpoints. This is a development tool. 3, build a rhythm. Consistent one-on-ones in team meetings create predictability and trust. 4, and this is huge, protect yourself. Redesign your workload and set firm boundaries to avoid burnout. And 5, practice, practice, practice. Every week look for opportunities to coach instead of do, to clarify instead of control. So let's bring this all home. Let's really focus on that new success metric. In this new world of management, what truly matters? It really comes down to these 4 pillars. Delegation is your career accelerator. It's how you scale. Great communication is the absolute foundation of everything. You can't have a high-performing team without it. Strong boundaries are what make leadership sustainable for the long haul. And holding it all together is that core identity shift, that deep understanding that your job is now to enable others to be amazing. And remember this, the goal here is not to work harder. It's to stop being the bottleneck. It's to build a team and a system that can run brilliantly, even when you're not there. That is the true mark of a sustainable, effective leader. So I'll leave you with one final question to really make this stick. Looking at your week ahead, what is one single task you can delegate? Not because you're busy, but as a deliberate strategy to grow someone on your team. Answering that question and then acting on it, that's your first real step on this new path.